Hi everyone, hope that you all are doing well. Guys, I am starting up with Spring Cloud. So in today's video, we'll learn what is Spring Cloud and implement an example. But before we jump into the video's context, I would like to request you, if you find my videos knowledgeable, please do like, share and comment on the videos. Please support by subscribing and pressing bell icon. Let's first discuss what is Spring Cloud by going on the official documentation of Spring. So I'm on the official documentation of Spring Cloud config. So basically, Spring Cloud config provides server and client-side support for externalized configuration in distributed systems. So here the configuration that the Spring is addressing is that when we configure our application, like we have like application.properties in our projects. So those are like configuration for our project. So those configurations need to be externalized. Like it can be kept on a cloud, it can be kept on any directory, right? And then that we can access those properties from that directory using Spring Cloud config, right? So like we will have a application that is like a config server which will be directly reading properties through some of the through a directory, right? A directory may be present on like GitHub or any of the platforms, right? Or even your file systems. So that will act as a cloud, right? So that will be a cloud where your config properties are being kept, and then there is a config server that is reading those properties, and then there are different client applications which are accessing their properties through config server. So it's like a hierarchy is being maintained. The properties of config server are being read by config server, reads the properties from the cloud, and those properties are then being taken up by the client applications and then worked upon it. So if we go by the theory, so it says that the Spring Cloud config provides server and client side support for externalized configuration in a distributed system. With config server, you have a central place to manage external properties for application across all environment. The concept on both client and server map identically to the Spring environment and the property source abstraction. So they fit very well with Spring applications, but can be used with any application running in any language. So this can be like we can say that it's like a plugin that can be attached to any language, any application developed in any language, not only Spring, right? As an application moves through the deployment pipeline from dev to test and into production, you can manage the configuration between those environments and be certain that applications have everything they need to run when they migrate, right? So now this was the theory part. So if you go by the features, so Spring Cloud config server features. So what are the features of config server, right? So it is like HTTP resource based API for external configuration, name value pair and equivalent YAML content, encrypt and decrypt property values, embeddable easily in Spring Boot application, right? Just that you have to put this annotation on your main class and your config server is ready. Config server features for Spring application: bind the Spring config and initialize Spring environment with remote property sources, encrypt decrypt property values. So this was the theory part. So now let me tell you that what example we will be implementing today. So basically there will be a config server. That config server would be pointing to some of the application.properties present on a GitHub repository, right? So I'll be accessing the GitHub repository through my Spring application, that is a config server, right? I'll be supplying my username and password of my GitHub repository to the config server. It will be reading all the application.properties present on the GitHub, and then I'll be creating a client application. That client application will be basically having application.properties, and those application.properties would be read from config server, and that config server is inherently reading the properties from GitHub repository, right? So it will be a backtracking kind of an application. So basically what we are saying that the configurations or the application.properties of that particular applications are kept already on the cloud, right? So there is no change to do that. There is no change required on the properties file, right? it's dynamically my client application will be reading the properties from the config server. The config server would be reading properties from the GitHub repository, right? So this is how the Spring Cloud config works. So this is a very small example that we are implementing. So let's go on the IDE and let's start by implementing an example. I'll put the document link in the description of the video. You can go and you can check the theory part. So let's go to the IDE and let's implement an example. So I am on my IDE, and what we have to do is first let's create a Spring Starter project, right? And let me name the Spring Starter project as what we say config server, right? So this application would be a config server which will be having access of a GitHub repository where application.properties are kept, right? So this is my like Java version is 21 and my package is com.code with raman.implementation, right? Let's go next. And here as we are implementing a very small example, let's just add Spring Web dependency, and also we need a dependency for server, that is the Spring Cloud server, right? So if you go down, let me close this. So you can see that we have Spring Cloud config, and in the Spring Cloud config we have config server, right? So we need to add this property. So I've added this. Let me finish and let me import the project. So my project is ready, right? Let me go to pom.xml and let's see the dependencies. So you can see that the Spring Cloud version is 2024, right? And we have the starter dependency and we have the Spring Cloud config server dependency, right? So now what we have to do is to make this as a config server. We have already added the dependency. Another thing that we have to do is we have to mark our application main class, right? So we have to say enable config server, right? So if we are putting this annotation, now Spring knows that this is a config server, so it will have some kind of a cloud access, or it will have some kind of a common repository access from where the properties would be read, right? So this will act as a config server. Now I need to add few of the properties in my application.properties. So you can see that this is my let me change the name of my project as well, because this will act as a like an application name that will be picked by Spring. So let me name it as config-server. So these are my properties. So basically what I am saying is that this server would be up on the port 8888, right? And the application name is config server. Then I have supplied Spring Cloud config server git URI. So basically I will give the access of a repository where my application.properties are kept, right? So that will act as a cloud repository. So I'll put the URL or the link of the repository that is present on my GitHub. So if you go by the URI, you can see that this is my username and this is my repository name, config-repo.git, right? Then I have to give my username, that is git username, that is my username, and then I have to also give the git password, right? So basically this logging is not required, so you have to give the git password also. So I'll tell you that how to generate the git password. If you have like a two-step verification on in your GitHub repository, for that you will have to generate a token, right? So that I'll tell you later on when we'll be running the application. So you have to generate the token, and that would be supplied as a password to access the repository, so that your code can access that repository. So now we have added the application.properties, and if you can see that we have given that the Spring Cloud config server is present on, like you have to read all the properties from this repository, and the access credentials have been provided, right? So this will act as my config server. Now let's go and this is done, right? My config server is ready. Now let's create another project. Let me go and let me create new project, and let me say Spring Starter project, and I need to name this as my client application, right? So this will act my client application. So let me name it as client service, right? So this is my client service. And again, my Java version is 21. My packages are com.code with raman.implementation. Let's go next. And here also I need Spring Web dependency, as I'll be testing a REST endpoint with this application. And also I need a client dependency, Spring Cloud client dependency. So let me say cloud, and let's see where is that dependency. So I need to add this. So this is Spring Cloud config, and I need to add config client, right? So let's finish and let's import the project. So now my you can see that my project is ready and it's imported. So let's go to the pom.xml and let's see this cloud version is 2024 again, and my dependency is Spring Cloud starter config, right? So the difference here is that here we were using the server, right? So it was Spring Cloud config server. Here we have the starter config, right? So this will act as a client, and then we have the Spring starter dependency. So now what we have to do is in this application I need to test few things. So what I can do is I can create a like a controller class, right? So let me first create a controller package, and I need to create a controller class, name it as a message controller, and let me mark this as a REST controller. So this will act as a REST controller. Now I need to fetch the value from application.properties and display it to the user. So I need to use the @value annotation, and here @value annotation will be picking the value from the property file, and which value need to be picked, I need to pass it in double quote. So I need to pass it like $, and then I need to pass a key here that is present in my application.properties, right? And I'll say private string message. So the value is this value that is present, message key would be message, and the value would be present in the application.properties, and the controller will be picking that value and putting it into this message, right? So now what you have to do is you have to create a get mapping call. Let's say we have a mapping of message, and we'll say public string get message, right? And we'll return the message, right? So this message is having the value of the message key that is present in your application.properties, right? So now we are done with the code part. Now I also have to add some properties in application.properties for this application as well, and also I need to rename it, right? It's better to rename it because this case sensitivity is being removed if you rename it. So this is my client service. So I'll rename it as client service. So these are my properties. So my application name is client service, and my active profile would be a dev profile, right? And the Spring config importer, right? So this property will be importing the properties from some other project, right? So if you see that what we are supplying here is, we are saying that the config server is present on this particular URL, http localhost 8888. So if you go by the properties, you can see that our config server will be up on 8888, right? So I'm saying that you have to get the properties from this config server that is present on this particular URL, and then it will go to this particular application of config server, and in the config server it will see that the cloud config server is present on the git URI, right? So it will be present on some git repository. It will be picking that from there and will be supplying it to the client application. So this is the work of cloud config, right? So this is Spring is helping in this by putting it into Spring Cloud config dependency, right? So now our project work is done, right? We have developed the project. Now if I go to the browser and if I show you my git repository, so I've already created a repository called as config repo, and if you go and check the property file, I'm also pointing it to config repo.git, right? So let me go to the browser again, and so here you can see I have three properties. One is the application.properties, that is a default property. Then we have the client service dev properties. So if I go back to the project and if you see, this is my name of the application, client service. So client service properties would be present and client service dev properties would also be present. So there is a active profile dev that is present in my project. So it can act as like a default profile, that is a client service, and it can also act as a active profile, that is dev, right? So let's go back. So in my application.properties, I have a key called as message, and the message is hello Spring Cloud, right? And if we go back to the client service dev properties, it says message equals to hello from client dev service. And if I go back to client service, it will say message equals to hello from client service, right? So this message key is being picked from these properties, and then it is being supplied to this particular controller, and then this particular controller will be showing us the message when we will be hitting this endpoint, right? So now we are ready with our applications. So first let me tell you that how I have generated the token as well. So if you go back to if you go to your Git repository, go to the settings part, and in the settings part go at the downside, and you'll see a developer setting. So you have to click on developer setting, and in your developer setting you will get a personal access token. So you have to basically click on personal access token, that is token classic. Click on it, and here the option of I have already generated a token, so it is giving me an option of delete. So it is also giving me a option of generate new token. You can click on it and a new token is being generated, right? You have to authenticate yourself and a token would be generated for you. So this token you can put it as a password for your repository access, right? So now let's go and let's run the applications. So let me first run the config server, and first let's test the config server. Let me go to the config server application and let me run the application. So my config server application is up. Let me go to the browser and let me first go to localhost 8888 and let's hit like client service slash let's say default. So it will give me a JSON of application.properties, right? So basically it has application.properties as client service property and application.properties. So these two are acting as a default properties, right? But if I put a dev instead of default, it will show me three properties, right? So it will show me three properties, one from client service dev properties, one from client service properties, and one is application.properties. So these are the three files that are present in my repository, right? So this is how it is picking. So config server is ready, right? So config server is picking the properties completely fine. So now I need to test the client application. So let me now go and let me run the client application as well. So let me go to the main class and let me run the application. So you can see that when I run my application, right, so it says that the client service is hello from the client service. So it is picking the message from the client service, but my active profile is of dev, so it should pick it from dev. So to run that on dev, what you have to do is you have to like close this application and again go to your main class, and you have to say run as, and you can say run configuration, and in the configuration part you have to put the profile, right? So you have to put the profile as dev and say run. Now if I go to this particular slash message URL, you can see that our message is coming from dev file, hello from client dev service, right? So it is coming now from dev service, right? So like what is the flow here? So basically this client application is reading application properties from a config server. That config server is reading application.properties from a Git repository. That is acting as a cloud for that config server. So a centralized repository can be maintained for your application.properties, and that can be accessed through your client applications. So this was the functionality of Spring Cloud Config. So this was a very small example that we implemented. We'll be going ahead and we'll be implementing some other examples as well and some other tools of Spring Cloud. So please stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can get the notification. So this was it from this video. Hope that you people find this video knowledgeable. Please do hit like, share and comment on the videos, and if new to the channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Hope to see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.